Wow. If anyone here has felt shamed for battling obesity for years, and you are either considering taking a GLP-1 or you're currently taking a GLP-1, or you have a family member who's taking a GLP-1, run, don't walk
No,
to
you
get
can
this
walk.
book.
Walking's good for you. You can walk if you want.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Wow. Wow. We are a weight loss book club for busy people. So we only do one chapter a week. And I am running right along with you guys. I have only read the foreword, the introduction, and chapter 1 of Weightless. And it was already worth the money to purchase this book. I just want to tell you right now. And I don't work for them. They do not sponsor my show. I mean, if they did in the future, that'd be great. I'd take it. I'm just a regular customer who bought the book.
Regular.
And I have type 2 diabetes. My name is Gina, if this is your first time here. This is my husband, Jeff. I have type 2 diabetes and I have battled obesity almost all of my adult life. And my husband Jeff does not have type 2 diabetes. He's not taking a GLP-1. He was so thin as a kid and as a young adult. He didn't start having issues with his weight until a few years ago. And then he has been on a healthy lifestyle journey with me. Now, because of my type 2 diabetes, I was able to finally get my health insurance to cover taking Manjaro. And I have been on a Manjaro journey for 2 years now. I also, if this is your first time visiting Anchor Moments, please give us a like and subscribe. And on Monday nights, I go live every Monday evening and I give myself my shot live and I talk to people from around the world about GLP-1s. I'm not a doctor, but the person who wrote this book is an obesity doctor and an endocrinologist. She gets it.
She's
She
board
gets it.
certified
She's board certified. She
in
went to
obesity
college. Oh
management.
yeah, she's board certified in obesity management. And wow, you guys. Wow. And if you can get this book as a hardcover. You can also get this book as a
Kindle.
Kindle version, and you can get this book on Audible, where you can just listen to it. Jeff, are you buying it right now as a Kindle?
No, but when we're done here,
You'll get it up as
I will do
Kindle.
that.
Uh, it just came out, you guys, December 31st of 2025. So it's new, 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 new. But it is fantastic if you just read chapter 1 and the intro and the forward. Oh my gosh, even the forward, you guys. Wow. Wow.
So what part did you like the best in the foreword or the introduction?
All right, I'm going to go through that, but I'm just
Oh, okay.
saying because a lot of people, I've done a lot of books with the Weight Loss Book Club. We've been doing this Weight Loss Book Club for probably almost 2 years now, and we've done a lot of books, and they're wonderful. But on my GLP-1 journey, I'm really glad that I discovered this one. And I'm super excited to read chapter 2 for next week because, oh my gosh, it's already worth it from chapter 1. But we're going to start from the beginning here, but I just wanted to put that out there because if you have felt shame for having to battle obesity, not only does this author say that obesity is a disease and it's not your fault.
And I
In
like
the
the part where she said that I'm not going to call you an obese person. I'm going to call you a person with obesity because you are not your disease.
No,
You are a valuable person with a disease.
right. Does someone say you're a high blood pressure person? Has
No.
anyone said that? Has a doctor ever said, introduce you to the nurse? Oh, this is my high blood pressure patient. No, this is a patient with high blood pressure. Do they ever say, this is my, I don't know, with other things?
And if they do, then it just goes to show you that it doesn't help the shame. And
No.
when they're giving out advice that, well, the math works, so you should be losing weight, it must be your fault. Maybe you're not really doing it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
that kind of in the background going on. If you're following the standard advice of calories in, calories out, and you're exercising more, and those people who were, it reminds me of those people who were on the that one show. What show was that? Biggest Loser.
Yes.
And if it had just been about whether you stick to what you're trying to do, like
You just work out hard
work
enough
hard and
and
all
yeah.
that sort of thing, those people would have all been skinny and stayed skinny from then on, because it's more than just that.
Right. And a lot of people from The Biggest Loser gained their weight back when they were no longer on the show, even though they were still trying.
It's not just a question of willpower and a moral failing.
Yes. And it's not just my sweet husband saying that.
Wait,
That
what
for
about
in the
me?
introduction, you are my sweet husband. My sweet husband, Jeff. In the introduction, the author, who's an obesity doctor and an endocrinologist, she apologizes to her patients.
I love that.
She apologized because initially she didn't get it. Initially, she thought it was the failure of her patients to work hard enough to get the weight off and to keep it off. And a lot of doctors have thought that.
Right. And you know what? They probably get all their training on obesity on a Thursday.
You got your one day. Uh, and funny that Jeff should say that. I also said the foreword was even important. The foreword was done by Dr. Mary Claire Haver.
You
And
like her?
I love her. I also have her book on the new menopause journey, which I think I might at some point be doing 2 book clubs at once because I would.
I'm a busy person, Gina.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, oh my gosh, because I do need to do hers on the new on menopause and what she has done for women going through perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause is phenomenal. And she also has a YouTube channel. Uh, and so it was really exciting for me to see number one, the foreword by Dr. Mary Claire Harber about how important, or
Haver.
Haber,
Haver.
Haver, yeah, maybe
But
Haver,
it's not Harvard.
Haver.
She
Um,
didn't go to Harvard.
she didn't go to Harvard. Well, maybe she did. I
Well,
don't
I
know
don't
where
know.
she went to college. Maybe
That's
she
true.
did. I don't know. You'll have to guys check me
But
on
it
that.
wasn't her name. Yeah, okay.
Oh my goodness, you guys. Wow. I can just say wow. So I'm really excited that another author that and doctor that I highly regard gave the forward. Another doctor that I highly regard and follow on YouTube is Dr. Kelly Casperson. And Dr. Kelly Casperson said, oh my gosh, you've got to read this book. And she's a urologist, but she talks a lot about hormone replacement therapy for women and how it makes a difference for women with their urology problem things too. I mean, with just all kinds of things. And that doctor that I highly love and watch on YouTube said she's making sure that her patients know about this book and feels that any person whose doctor has prescribed a GLP-1 should 100% get this book because it has so much important information in it for you to be your guide on that journey. So the foreword was fabulous and was worth reading. The introduction, I mean, how often do you hear a doctor apologize to all their patients at once? Wow. And that's how she starts this book. And I really
And
appreciated
and
that.
she also talked about the need of doctors, and it should be standard that doctors listen and don't just talk. That they don't just know everything, and you're the recipient of all of their wisdom. That they need to listen to their patients.
Yeah.
And she mentioned that too. Was that in the introduction too?
It was either in the
I
introduction
think
or
so.
chapter one. I read them both together all at once. So I do apologize if I say something in chapter one, but really it was in the introduction or something about the introduction that was in chapter one. But when you get this book, do not skip the forward and the introduction because that's just as important as chapter one. Also, if you get the book on Audible, uh, Jeff and I went to Costco today, and on the way to Costco, Jeff bought the Audible book of Weightless, so we could listen to it in the car. Because I read the introduction and chapter one about 2 or 3 weeks ago when my book first came to my door. I read chapter one, the all of this, and then had like a crazy busy week where I had to read a book this thick to go to
474
oh my
pages.
gosh, in order to go to this,
Uh,
which I had a 1 week advance notice for going to a life-changing conference. And I'll be talking about that tomorrow on my Manjaro Monday Live. But because I had so many pages to read in a week's time, I didn't get to reread. I always, when I do a weight loss book club, because I'm leading it, I always read the chapter more than once, and then I listen to the chapter. So that way I am really ready to discuss it with you all. But I am admitting to you right now, I read the chapter once and then I was looking through all of my highlights, but my goodness, I almost highlighted everything because everything was so amazing and was said in such a, a thorough and thoughtful and kind way that it was almost like having to read the whole chapters all over again. And uh, I didn't get to finish listening to chapter one on Audible, but I can tell you what I liked about the Audible version
what?
is it's the author, the doctor, is reading it to us. She's reading it to us. And I always prefer to have the author's voice reading me books when I get them on Audible. And she took the time to not only write this book for her patients and for other people out there that aren't even her patients who've battled obesity to have this information
As a go-to.
as a
Yeah,
go-to.
I think that was
Exactly.
good too, where, there's not a lot of stuff out there and not everybody can come to her office to get, benefit from this information. But putting it out like this makes it available more widely.
To make a difference. And I can tell she wants to make a difference. So anyway, I just wanted to put all of that out there. This is alive, And so you can give me your thoughts right now. And right now we're live, and I can see in the corner of my eye without my glasses that I have shipmates in the house. That's what I call my Anchor Moments community who watch this show. And do know when you subscribe to Anchor Moments, it's always free. So there's no cost to be an Anchor Moment shipmate. All you got to do is click subscribe and you're subscribed, and ring the bell so that way you'll get a notification whenever I go live. But anyway, yeah, and likes always make a difference. I know every YouTuber says it and you think, yeah, 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 yeah. But the reason that it's important is if people don't click the thumbs up, then it's the YouTube's algorithm. It's YouTube's computers. It's not even humans. It's YouTube's computers that figure out, oh, this must be interesting because that like button was hit. And so then it shows it to more people. And if it doesn't, and if a video doesn't get a lot of likes, then it just ends up dead in the water. And just a handful of people get to see it and then no one else does. So if you could hit the like, I really do appreciate that. It really does make a difference because this book is important and we need to get information out there. And then the hard part about this book coming out on December 31st, and I kind of feel for the doctor, is Oprah's new book came out like a week or two. Well, no, I guess Oprah's book came out maybe 2 weeks after this book. And we are going to do Oprah's book as soon as we're done with this one. I love Oprah. Oh my gosh, I've loved Oprah forever. When I was a stay-at-home mom, I always did my laundry at 3 o'clock Arizona time so I could watch Oprah. So anyway, and I'm very excited that our next book, when we finish this one, will be enough. But they both came out around the same time. And Oprah is very much a name brand that a bunch of us watch, and a bunch of people love her and have seen her struggle and her journey. And she's right now so successful and she looks so great and she feels good. And that's why I
And I
do.
think she's happy in her own skin.
Yeah, and she's happy in her own skin. So we are doing her after this one, but this one is important and it shouldn't get lost in because she came out at the same time as Oprah's book. So originally I am going to say it was Michelle Frank who told me about Weightless. And she said, "Oh my gosh, there's this book coming out." And she told me about it before it came out. And she said, Gina, would you consider doing Weightless as the next book club book?" And you know what? I 100% trust my shipmate, Michelle Frank, because she was the one who reached out to me for the book club we just finished, Food Intelligence, which was also an book, outstanding book. Um, and so
You
I'm
know, I
like,
kind of like how the order has been that we've done these books because I think reading some of the stuff in this book now, I think we got a good uh, foundation
mhm,
by going through Salt, Sugar, Fat, and also the Food Intelligence book, you know.
also excellent.
So I'm looking forward to seeing making those connections, and now that I have my brain kind of primed with that
Mhm.
kind of information from like Salt, Sugar, Fat.
Right.
You know, when she talked about ultra processed food, I was thinking, I know about that. And
It was like, oh, it was a good review. And she
yeah,
gets it. So she understands that too. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And these other books that I'm holding up, if you're like, oh man, I wish I could have been part of that book club, you always can because we keep the playlist. So you can just watch each chapter on replay, and do know that if you write a comment after watching one of the chapter videos from any of these weight loss book club books, you're still part of a book club because I will respond to you. And some of our other shipmates may respond to you in the comments as well. And so you're still part of it, even though you didn't watch it live. So I just wanted to let you know that as well. All
I'm
right,
seeing some
chapter
good
1. Oh,
comments
there's
in
some
there,
good
by the way.
comments. Should we start with do you wanna do a little different when we start with the comments, or do you want me to you know what?
Far
Let me
be
just
it
give
from
a
me
I know,
to
to
tell
tell
you
you
what to
what to
do
do.
or to have you listen to me.
Let me just say just a couple quick things from chapter 1, because I gave you a lot about the introduction, I gave you a lot about the forward, but I haven't said anything about chapter 1 yet.
I have something I read in there. So when you're ready,
Oh, you know
I'll
what?
contribute
I'm gonna let you contribute first while I
while you're
find
looking
my
for the
my
thing.
chapter 1
Okay.
notes. So go what did you think about, what you've seen so far in chapter 1 that really touched you?
Well, the thing that I thought was the most interesting so far, anyway, was the stuff about epigenetics. We all know that you inherit uh, a lot of the traits about yourself from your genes, but the
Mhm.
epigenetics can affect which genes are turned on and which are not. And that is something people really didn't know about until recently, how that worked. And those kind of things can happen to form how you relate to your body's use of insulin and uh, all kinds of things that affect your weight. And those can affect you from before you're even conceived, based on
Yeah,
your future parents' epigenetics.
yeah, that was something.
If there's anything it will tell you, it's not all your fault. Having it affecting you from before you were even conceived, that is pretty much not your fault.
Mhm.
And also, of course, your genes too. But I think, and I can't remember where I heard it from, but like after World War II or during World War II, there was, I think it was the Dutch in Holland, that they were under a severe famine because everything was uh, confiscated by the Nazis or something like that. I can't remember the details, but I know that there was starvation going on. And I remember watching little newsreel kind of clips where the kids are like going to the garbage can and trying to find there's a little bit of peanut butter goo or something like that and trying to eat it to survive. Those things, when a famine or something like that happens, it does stuff to the epigenetics, and then the next generation, they're affected by that, even though they weren't even born yet. And
Yes.
how your body conserves fat and tries to store fat because there could be a famine.
Now I can tell you, I used to teach school. I used to teach, elementary education. I was an elementary school teacher. And the school that I taught at had a lot of Native Americans, because it was right next to the reservation. So I had a lot of kids, um, that have that heritage, and I was told, um, that a lot of them on the reservation they really battle obesity, but it's because of that epigenetics, because they lived on, yeah, their ancestors lived on so few calories because it was so hard for them to get food. And that, that a lot of my students' families have, they're built for famine. So, like, if a famine were to strike, you know, a bunch of us wouldn't make it, but they would
Do you
because their
think I
bodies
would
were
make it,
built for that.
Gina?
Yeah. Oh, I know I will make it
Yeah.
because I do have obesity genes, and I know I do. Uh, and so this was really interesting to me too. And those of you who have followed my channel, my Anchor Moments channel, my Manjaro Monday lives, I have said this before, but both of my grandmothers, my mom's mom and my dad's mom, they both told me at different times that they almost didn't marry their husbands because because my grandmother's families were thin and relatives were thin. But the person that they wanted to marry wasn't fat, but his relatives were fat. And so both of my grandmothers could see that
They
the
were
person
no,
that
no,
no,
they were people with
they
obesity.
were people with obesity. Yeah. And but both of my grandmothers. on different occasions told me that.
Well, they probably didn't say that.
And I know they told me that when they saw me go from thin to fat. And I wasn't truly obese yet when each grandmother gave me that talk, but I knew that each grandmother was worried about me, and they could see it coming for me. And they each wanted to let me know in their own way that there is obesity genes, and they were both thin, and their response was, they said they were really leery to marry their husbands because their husbands' families were not thin, and they were afraid they would raise children who would battle obesity. And my grandmothers were not doctors, but they could see it. And that was before there was, well, no, I'm not that old. I grew up with sugars, when sugar cereals came out and they started doing the highly processed foods.
That was like 1910 when they came out, dear.
Yeah, I know. So
I'm not
yeah, I'm
that
not
old.
that old. I always feel like I'm old. I'm not that old. But
Okay,
anyway,
the high sugar ones probably came later, but
yeah.
the
Yeah. And in this chapter 1, she also talks, and some people families don't have obesity in it per se, but as a nation, we're getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And that is people who don't have it in their genes are getting it in their food environment, where it makes foods highly craveable. It makes you, while you're eating it, like Pringles. When you open up a can, once you pop, you can't stop. Is one of their commercials. Because and Lay's potato chips, can't eat just one. That they make it craveable so they can make money, and the tastier they make it for you, the more you eat, the more money they make. And
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 wasn't that
so
in the last
yeah.
book where they talked about that's not only just acting on your brain, but the microbiome in your gut calling out for feed me. I want the sugar stuff or whatever it
Mhm.
might be, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, so
Anyway,
seriously, you guys, I've watched I don't know if I've hit, well, maybe I've hit, I don't know, but I can say probably thousands of videos. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube. I hardly watch regular TV anymore. If I watch stuff, I watch a lot of different things on YouTube. I like following other channels that are doing GLP-1s, and I even pop on their lives and be part of their communities too. And so a lot of things that I read in these books, it's like, yeah, I already know it. And I'm aware of that, but I still like being a part of the community, so that way I don't feel alone while I am on my weight loss journey. That I can be in community with others, and especially with others that do GLP-1s. But there were things in chapter 1 by an obesity doctor endocrinologist that were kind of like, wow, I never really thought of that. Like the weight of the parent, the husband, as
well,
well as the wife, or the dad, as well as the mom, uh, that both of their biologies and things can make a difference for fetuses and how they're going to grow up into children and adults. Like, wow, that was really interesting to me.
well, go ahead.
Uh,
I'm
oh,
really anxious to
oh,
to the comments,
I
but go
know.
ahead and
Jeff is anxious for the comments. Just a few more
okay.
things though from this. Um, on page, and you guys, I thought this page was so important. Not only did I put a highlight and a big star, I doggy eared it, and that is
It's a Gina seal of approval.
yes. So this is page. It's page 11, my favorite number. You definitely got to read page 11, you guys, and read it a second time. But this is where it talks about the genes and epigenic changes.
Epigenetic.
Epigenetic, thank you. Genes and how your DNA shapes your weight. And then I listed it, how your genes may increase the risk of obesity. One way, you may burn fewer calories at rest, making weight gain more likely. Or or you have a blunted satiety response. You don't feel full after eating until later, leading to overeating. Hey, any of you out there that battled obesity, can you understand that? Yes, that was so me. There are differences in your brain's reward system, leading to more intense cravings for high calorie foods. Oh my gosh. And that's why I've always said that I was an emotional eater. And all emotions, even celebratory emotions, any kind of emotion, happy, sad, glad, mad, stressed, celebrating, joyful, any emotion there was, I had a food for that. An intense cravings for high calorie foods. Number 4, you have a harder time losing weight than others do, even when following the same diet and exercise plan. How many people have been in a Weight Watcher meeting and you're really doing it and you're eating the correct points that they tell you to eat and the right amount of fruits and vegetables and water and you're exercising and you go to your Weight Watcher meeting and you've maintained that week or you only lost half a pound and then you see other people sitting next to you that are just like score, and they're losing a bunch of weight every week doing the exact same thing you're doing, and yours is going slower. And you feel like you have more stalls than everybody else. Is anybody out there? Can anybody out there feel that? Well, that was me too. Oh my gosh. And then they also talk about hormones that influence obesity. My dad asked me a question when I finally admitted what my weight was on YouTube. And my dad does follow me because he also has type 2 diabetes and he's on a Manjaro journey. And he said, Gina, what happened? Because I'd been obese and I went from obese to like super obese
Dad
in a
talking?
short period of time.
Is this your dad talking?
No, my dad wanted to know how I got so
Oh.
what did I do? What happened when all of a sudden the weight was like crazy piling on where I was already very heavy. He doesn't use the word obese, he's like heavy. He uses the word heavy. How'd you get so heavy? Is what he asked me. And actually that was one of the reasons why I wasn't going to tell people how much I weighed. Um, and I wasn't sure. There was a time uh, I was 175 pounds, 175 to 185 pounds while raising my kids for a number of years, and I was exercising like crazy at the Y. And then and then I stopped teaching a class. I used to teach a class called Get Real Weight Loss, and I was YMCA trained, and it had a textbook, and I had that teacher background, and it was kind of fun teaching it. And I would always lose. I can't remember, it was like an 8-week course, and I'd lose like 10 pounds with everybody. And then it would take 3 or 4 months before I would teach the next class and I would gain every pound back. And then I'd have to re-lose it with the class. And they did that for 7 years. I was able to maintain from 175 to 185 pounds. And then a skinny woman, or I should say skinny, some people don't like the word skinny. So I'll say a very thin, fit, healthy woman who was older than me came to our branch and she'd worked at a lot of YMCAs and she also was trained by the YMCA to teach the Get Real classes. And she said, do you guys have Get Real classes here? And I said, yes, I teach them. And she said, "Oh, I used to teach them at my other Y, and oh, I love teaching them." And I was like, "Uh-huh," because I love teaching them too. And then I started watching, and I would see what she would bring for lunch, and it was always something very, very healthy, always. And I never saw her eat junk food ever. And then I saw her working out in the gym every day. And sometimes she was weight training, and sometimes she was just doing like the elliptical or running on the treadmill or whatever. She was doing all the things, and she was doing it consistently, and she was thin. And I thought, who am I to teach this class when I continue to battle obesity? And this woman consistently does everything right. She's the true role model of being thin. So I stopped teaching the class and I let her teach it. And she was so excited because I said, "It's okay. I'm kind of busy with my kids. Would you like to teach the next class for me?" And she was so excited to teach it. And I never taught it again. And my weight went from 185 to probably about, seems like there was a long time that hung out at 225. And I was still exercising. And I tried different things to lose weight, but I don't know. It just wasn't working anymore. But at that time where it wasn't working anymore, and I went from 225 to 254, the 225 to 254, I didn't do anything different. I swear I didn't. I can't figure, like, what happened? You know what happened? Hormones. I was going through perimenopause and I was already overweight. So when you go to page 13, it talks about all the different hormones like insulin and being insulin resistant. I probably was insulin resistant. I wasn't type 2 diabetes yet, but I was getting there. And explains how that makes you lose weight, gain weight. Problems with leptin levels and
Grel,
ghrelin. Am I
grel,
saying that right?
no,
Ghrelin?
grelin.
Ghrelin and cortisol. Uh, that all those and estrogen influences where fat is stored, for example, around the hips and thighs versus the abdomen. A drop in estrogen level during menopause contributes to central abdominal weight gain. I was always pear shaped, and I had a big butt and big thighs. And then all of a sudden I had a big belly too. And low testosterone levels. And my thyroid is okay. I did have that checked. My dietitian wanted me to get it checked, and I did get it checked, and my thyroid's fine, thank goodness. But and GLP-1 and PP or PYY, these gut hormones help promote sa-
Satiety.
satiety, feeling full. Um, and the levels of GLP-1 are often lower in individuals with obesity, which may contribute to overeating. All those different hormones and hormone conditions can cause weight gain, insulin resistance. All of you out there, if you have type 2 diabetes, you have it because you had insulin resistance. You have that too. That's that insulin resistance contributes to becoming having type 2 diabetes. Uh, and so it tells about that and all the important things with that. And hypothyroidism or Cushing's syndrome disease and low testosterone. Low testosterone can occur in both men and women. It leads to decreased muscle mass and increased fat mass. It is often overlooked, especially in aging adults.
Luckily, I'm not aging.
Yeah. And then there was all the stuff with your environment that we have talked about in salt, sugar, and fat. That whole book was about that with environment. And a lot of things about food environment was in food intelligence as well, with scientific data and scientific research added to it in food intelligence. Um, all right. I think I'm ready now to see what my shipmates are thinking, and the stuff that they say about sleep and stress. Let's see a little bit of what you're thinking, and then I'll I'll hit some other things, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget to hit those because they're big, big, big and important, uh, important to be able to get that in Weightless in chapter 1. And who knows what we got in the rest of these chapters. Oh my gosh, if they're half as good. And I do know Michelle Frank reached out to me, and she's also been a guest on my show on a Manjaro Monday Live. So you can meet Michelle Frank, and she's lost over 100 pounds on her GLP-1 journey, and she's amazing. Uh, she reached out to me and let me know she's read the first 7 chapters, and she said, "Oh my goodness, Gina, this book is so good." And hey, Michelle knows what she's doing. She's lost over 100 pounds on her GLP-1 journey, but she was wowed by the first 7 chapters. And I'm wowed by the first one. And and it was funny. I was thinking for a minute, true, as honest as I can be. When I bought this book and I hadn't read it yet, and I was thinking, I watch other obesity doctors on YouTube too that talk about GLP-1s and things. And I thought I've been studying this stuff for so long, and I really liked Dave's book also, which is a great book to share with family members who don't understand why you're on a GLP-1 journey. And I was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to get any new information out of this, you know? And but I'm only doing it because I didn't know what book to do. And Michelle suggested it, and it sounded, and it sounded good. But I was only disappointed when Oprah's book came out because Oprah is one of my heroes, and she's been one of my heroes for a long time. When people say, if you could meet anyone living or dead in person, who would you want to meet? Oprah. Oh my gosh. To give Oprah a hug would be huge for me. I would love to give Oprah a hug. And if any of you guys out there can make that connection for me so I can hug Oprah, please do, because that would just mean so much to me to give Oprah a hug. So and then I found out Oprah's book was coming out, I was like, dang it. Because I was so excited. I really want to do Oprah's book first.
I think this is correct to do this in this order, Gina. I think it was meant to be that way. So far, it's been really, I think, helpful, the order that we've read these. So I'm not going to question the book order.
No. After I read chapter 1, you guys, I no longer question the book order either. And I now know this was right because this has some information in it already that I didn't know. And you don't know when you don't know. And I didn't know. And so so that's why I'm like super excited. And I am going to read Oprah's book too. And we're going to do that. And I'm sure it's fabulous as well. All right, let's see what my other peeps think.
All right, by the way, I'm not sure what the comments will look like because the branding went a little haywire there. Do you see where it says Gina and Jeff for
Yeah.
Moms?
And it doesn't
No.
say anchor moments at the
Right.
top.
Sorry about that, but
About that.
let's see what the comments
All
look like.
right, let's see
Are
what
you
you
ready?
guys think, what my shipmates think. What do you guys think?
Oh, there we go.
Hey, we got Barb. Woohoo! And but it is a different
It is.
kind
I
of the
know
way
it
it
is.
looks. That is so weird. We'll have to figure out what's going on. But anyway, health at any cost. Barb says, I have the book. Yay! Was in chapter 2, but listening to chapter 1 again while waiting. Oh, good. Good, 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 good. And let's see what Barb has to say. And Barb says, if obesity was the game of poker, I would win the poker championship of the world. I fit so many of these categories. I started crying. It was so intense. Yeah. And you guys, Barb, health at any cost. She is a good friend of mine, and she's been on my show. Oh gosh,
Sorry.
I don't know, maybe 4 times now, a number of times. So you can catch those on Manjaro Journey guests. You'll be able to see different people like Michelle and Barb. And Barb, she has been on a GLP-1 journey for 3 years now. And Barb has lost 280 pounds. I'm not a medical person, but Barb used to be a midwife, and she can read a medical journal and understand it. And she is so smart, and she has researched, and she's read research papers. I mean, she knows so much, and she knows what it's like to battle obesity. So yeah, if even Barb says that she fits so many of these categories, she started crying. It was so intense. This is such an amazing book, you guys. And thanks for sharing that, Barb. I love you. And Cindy says, hi, all in the snow zone here in Pittsburgh. Hey, Sid. We're going to have to visit you in Pittsburgh someday. I'd love to go to Pennsylvania again.
Not this winter.
But not this winter. It'll be a summertime trip. In our other YouTube channel, Anchor Moments RV, we'll come visit you in our RV. And Grant says, good afternoon, all. Just got a chance to get this book on Audible, so we'll catch up. You're going to love it, Grant. It is really worth it. And Grant has been a guest on our show as well. And Grant has lost, I think he's up to 80 pounds lost now on his GLP-1 journey taking Manjaro. And he also has type 2 diabetes like me. He shares that on the show. So I'm not doing any HIPAA regulations there. But Grant is pretty awesome, and he's been learning quite a bit. And Grant, you're going to be so glad you got this book. You're going to learn even more. And I love how our community likes to. We make friends in our community, so there'll probably be a lot of highs and stuff here. And this is frankly Michelle. Michelle is the one who recommended that we get Weightless, and I thank you, Michelle, for the recommendation. And she says, hi, all. I am almost done with the book. It is wonderful all the way through. Say, because I didn't know. Maybe all the best stuff's in the first chapter that I didn't know. And then the rest will be like, yeah, I know that. And yeah, I know that. But that's good. Yeah. And then, so that's really good to know. And hey, and that's a big deal coming from, frankly, Michelle, because she has lost over 120 pounds on her GLP-1 journey. So the woman knows what she's doing, but yet she's still learning and enjoying this book. So that's a huge recommendation too. And thanks, Michelle. And Sandy's in the house. Woo! She says, hey, shipmates, I'm finally live on a Sunday. Yay, good to have you here, Sandy. And you really, if you don't have this book yet, you need to get this one. You really do. And let's see here. And everyone's just being friendly to each other. Love it. Oh, and Barb's listening to it from Audible. Awesome. And you're listening to it. That is the author's voice, because I've seen an interview of her, and that's her. And that's what she sounds like. That is really her.
And I think when they had that other person reading, Gina, that was the person who was telling those little stories
Right.
embedded.
Yeah. So they even have that.
That's
so it's
cool.
it's like
I
old
like
time
it.
radio, with the different voices and all that. It's really good. Oh, and frankly, Michelle's listening to it too on Audible. And Barb says, the book to ignore is your best shot. It sucks. Thanks, Barb, because I did see you ask someone about, I think it was when I was interviewing, I got to actually interview the author, you guys, of Food Intelligence. Fantastic. One of them, Kevin Hall, PhD. And Barb asked Kevin Hall when I did because I do it as a live, so you could ask the author questions too. And she asked him, have you read The Best Shot yet? And he hadn't. So he really didn't know anything about it to be able to give his opinion of it. So I am glad you found that out for us, Barb. So we are going to go straight from Weightless to Enough.
We're going to dodge
That's
that.
our next one. So we'll dodge that, your best shot bullet. So thanks for letting us know that, Barb. And Grant says, noted. Good to know, Barb. That's why I love my shipmates. You guys are important parts of my journey. And oh, yep, and people saying hi. And Grant says, don't forget to like this video on your way in. Yeah, thank you guys so much. The likes and hearts while you're watching it live are helpful, but when it's over playing or before you started or whatever, to give it that physical like is just huge. So more people will get a chance to see it on replay. So thanks, Grant. And Michelle says, there is so much shame with having this disease and not enough doctors with real understanding increasing the self-shame and blame. That is so, so true, Michelle. I think that that is a big piece of the title being weightless, is to have that shame lifted out of us so we don't have to carry it, because that's a huge weight. And that is why I started my type 2 diabetes journey playlist on my, because I've had this Anchor Moments channel for years. I get the moments in people's lives that anchor their faith, and I really enjoy that. And so I wrote a book about it, and then I started this YouTube channel. But when I got type 2 diabetes as an obese, as someone, not as an obese person, but someone who battles obesity, and when I got my type 2 diabetes diagnosis, the shame was so huge and so heavy. I didn't want to tell a soul that I had type 2 diabetes because I was afraid everyone would go, well, it's your own dang fault.
As a
And
moral failing.
as a moral failing. And then I ran into friends who told me that they'd had diabetes for years and didn't tell me because they didn't tell anyone. And I was also, battling obesity. And they didn't share it with me either because they didn't want anyone to know. They didn't like to talk about it. And that's why we're here today. Uh, and that's why I do my Manjaro Journey live videos on Mondays, and I do this weight loss book club with you guys because I didn't want anybody to feel shame, blame, and feel alone, because I felt alone when I first got my diagnosis, and I felt all of that. I don't want to feel that anymore, and I don't want anyone else feeling that either. And if you haven't gotten the book yet and you're feeling that, this book will be real helpful. And Michelle says, put her name in this chat or link her channel, please.
I think that's
Oh,
Claire.
no,
Haver.
Dr.
Oh,
Kelly
Kelly
Casperson. She's wonderful, 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 wonderful. Because of her, I was able to understand the importance when you are when you're going through menopause and postmenopause, the importance of being able to take a little bit of testosterone and estrogen. And I was able to talk to my gynecologist with knowledge, my own knowledge from learning from her, to ask if I could try it. And I will tell you, my gynecologist is wonderful, but she does mostly babies because she's an OB/GYN and she knows everything about babies and doing babies. And she said,
So why don't you get tests?
she
first,
had me do a lot
which
of,
was
get a
good.
lot of tests because my doctor also was very thorough and careful. And she had me do a bunch of different tests to make sure I'd be a good candidate. And then she let me try it, both testosterone, and I take a little bit of testosterone gel, and I also wear an estradiol patch, and I have a playlist on that too, so more women will be made aware of it, and they can talk to their doctors about it because it's not good for everybody, but it is. It's really good for a lot of us, not everybody, but a lot of us. And it was Dr. Kelly Casperson. She was really, really, really helpful, you guys. And she's fun. She's got this wild hairdo, and she's just cool. And she also talks about things that women are afraid to talk about when they get older as well, so you can have an extra great romantic life with your partner. So she has some stuff about that too. So anyway, but she is fabulous. So thank you, Grant, for finding that so they could see that.
And I think that there's a reference to another link besides this one.
Oh, good.
Now,
Because
if you're
hopefully
trying to find this one, would you look for, do a search in YouTube for Kelly Casperson?
Oh yeah, you know what?
And it should show up.
It really doesn't need all the extra parts. The extra parts kind of show up. So if you go to youtube.com/@ Kelly Casperson. That's it.
Wait,
And
it's
then
also MD.
and then it'll come
Gina.
up. Oh,
Kelly Casperson, MD, but
but you know
she
what?
might have more than one
She
channel.
might have more than.
That's what's mentioned further in the comments, I think.
Okay. Let's see. Because her thing is, you are not broken. She has a YouTube channel and she wrote a book too. You are not broken, and I've got to get her book
See,
at some
the other
point
one,
here.
and then
The other
Grant
one, Grant.
mentions.
Okay. Thank you,
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Michelle. Oh no, this is the other doctor that also has a YouTube channel and wrote the book, The New Menopause.
Dr. Mary
Dr.
Claire.
Mary Claire Haver. Hmm.
Okay.
And she's also fabulous. So both. So maybe
Oh,
it was one
oh,
person was
I'm
probably looking
sorry.
for Dr.
I
Mary Claire
wasn't even
Haver,
looking at
and the other one was looking for Dr. Kelly Casperson.
Yeah.
Both of them. And Dr. Kelly Casperson, she also has something like "You Are Not Broken."
Now stop.
Because when those of us going through menopause, we feel like we're broken.
And by the way, a
And she's like,
YouTube
"You're not
address
broken."
will have the youtube.com,
Mhm.
it'll have the slash, it'll have the ampersand for the at, and then the name of the person's channel. And the stuff after the question mark, if you're trying to find this or type it in yourself, you don't have to type in the question mark and everything after it. That is maybe, it may be just pointing to a specific video or maybe just their home video.
Mhm.
So all you need is the youtube.com slash at Dr. Mary Claire or youtube.com slash at Kelly Casperson MD.
Right. But both of their channels, outstanding, you guys, outstanding. Highly recommend. And Michelle says, "Thank you." And then she says, "Barb, they reference a bonus PDF for the Audible version. How do we get this?" And Barb knows.
Barb knows.
Barb knows everything. We love Barb. And Barb says, when you open it, or she said, when you open it, like it is the only thing on your screen, in the upper right are three dots. Get the PDF as a choice. Okay, so click on the three dots.
That's
And
when
then
you're
you get
using
the
a
PDF
computer.
when you're using a computer and listening to Audible. Okay.
My understanding.
And Grant says you can access the PDF by going to library. We'll say there's another place. Okay. And frankly, Michelle says, okay, well, look, thanks. And Grant says on a computer, you can click view PDF below the listen now button. See, there's all kinds of places you can find this stuff.
The three dots is inside of the Audible program, maybe? I don't know.
And Michelle says, thank you. Will do once I'm on a computer. And Grant says, wow, this PDF file has some great cheat sheets when it comes to protein. First appointment checklist with your doctor and follow-up appointment checklist. All right, I've got to look that up too. That'd be great.
Wouldn't you like to have that?
Yeah, I would have liked to have had that 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And Barb says, Dr. Rocio said it will take 2 to 3 generations before we see these medications' effects on obesity-related diseases minimized. It may. It'll depend how fast they can bring down the price, so more people can take it too.
Well, as they
more
find
affordable.
It's more helpful for other diseases, Gina. I think it might end up being more widely available at a more
reasonable cost. Yeah, because if we're going to save money in the long haul, less people having to go to the hospital because of all the other things that happen to you when you battle the disease of obesity, and then people won't need to do those things and go to the hospital. And Michelle says, Grant, she discusses these and mentions it is in there. Okay, so that it's in that PDF. And hey, we got Pamela in the house too. Hey, Pamela. And she said, I watched Oprah way back when as well, since I'm from Chicagoland. Woohoo! I'm from Sterling, Illinois, originally, 2 hours west of Chicago. I watched her on AM Chicago. Wow. Watched her on the radio, listened to her on the radio too. Then the Oprah show for years. Wow. Yeah, I only watched Oprah when she had her show, but I watched from the beginning. I watched her for years and years and years and just loved her. And I did get to see one show once. It wasn't Oprah's favorite things, and I didn't go when everybody got a car, but I did get to go one time to see her show, and it was on moms who middle-class moms who got involved with meth. It was weird. It was weird and wild because you think, why would a middle-class mom stay at it was like middle-class stay-at-home moms or whatever, middle-class moms who started using meth for recreation and then got hooked. And I was like, "What?" Whoa, it was weird. I'll never forget it, but it was so exciting. So I kinda saw Oprah in person, but I was in a big crowded audience. Oprah didn't see me, and I couldn't give Oprah a hug. So I still that is on my bucket list to one day be able to give Oprah a hug and tell her thank you. Alrighty. And Michelle says, Pamela, I'm reading that book too. Oh, good. Yeah, she's reading both. This one and Oprah's. Yeah. They're both gonna be fantastic. I know it. There's no doubt that Oprah's is gonna be good. And Barb says, that's so cool, Pamela. And Sandy says, one of my grandmothers always complained of how fat I was as a child. It would hurt me so much.
So,
I do understand that, Sandy. Um, m- uh, my grandma on my mom's side was always thin and she didn't have a filter. And what I mean by she didn't have a filter, she was kind of like Homer Simpson. She just said if she had a thought in her head, it came out her mouth. There was no filter. She would just say it. And I remember I was in junior high and I only weighed 120 pounds. And and I think I was already my full body height, 5'2.5". And I was 120 pounds. That was fine. But I used to be 110. In seventh grade, I was probably 110 pounds. But then in eighth grade, I got up to 121, 122 pounds. And it was Christmas and I was wearing my pajamas, and my pajamas uh, it was kind of like a silky shorts and a silky tank top, and it said snooze across the front. I still remember those pajamas, and I was on the floor, and I was looking at the Christmas presents, and my grandma came up behind me and gave me a hug, and she called me her baby white fat elephant. I've never forgotten that. And I wasn't even fat then. I just was thicker than I was when I was 110. But she was always, always, always thin. And she also said to me once, Gina, uh, you and your family live to eat. And I looked at her and I said, yeah, of course we live to eat, or we died. She said, no, 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 no. Listen to me, Gina. You and all the members of your immediate family, you and your family live to eat. She said, I don't live to eat. I eat to live. And I tell you, I find eating annoying. You know, I'm like working on the computer and all of a sudden I get so hungry and I'm annoyed that I have to stop what I'm doing to eat something, but I have to eat something to live.
when I was a kid, that was the case with me too. I'd be involved in some sort of project, and right in the middle of it, I remember one time I was painting a backdrop for some dance that was going on, and they needed to have this thing done, and I liked painting and stuff, so I was painting this backdrop, and I got like paint on my brushes, and I got the cans out, and probably paint on me too. And oh shoot, I feel hungry again. I gotta I gotta stop and put stuff down and go eat. Uh, what a pain.
What a pain. Yeah. But it was true. Me and my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, we loved eating. We enjoyed our food. We were excited to have a treat. We were excited to go and eat dinner. Uh, we loved eating. And my grandma didn't. She only ate because she needed food to live. But I'll never forget that too. And it was before I married Jeff. So I was young, and I married Jeff. How old was I? 23? I think I was 23 when I married you.
Yeah,
I don't know. Oh, it was a long time ago. And Barb says, I'm reading enough for the second time. I zipped through it the first time, straight through the 5 hours without stopping. Oh, I've not read the book enough. Oh, that might be another one we'll have to add to our
enough.
book club. Enough. We have it. Oh, this one. Oh, duh. Because I keep thinking of this one as the Oprah book.
It
Enough.
is the Oprah book.
Wow. And Barb liked it so much she's reading it twice. Okay. I'm really excited. We're going to be going through that one for sure after Weightless.
I think 2 times is enough.
I don't know. It might not be. And frankly, Michelle says, I'm listening to Weightless and reading enough. Oh, okay. So reading a hard copy of this one and the audible version of Weightless. Actually, that's a good way to do it. Your eyes won't get tired and you can get twice as much done. And Barb says, I'm so sorry, Sandy. Yeah, me too, Sandy. I'm thinking we can all hug each other because of childhood fat shaming. Yep. And Barb is going to help me. My power word for 2026 is to connect. And I want to connect more with my Anchor Moments community and help other people connect with each other as well. And we're going to be having more events where I'm going to let you know where we are in other places in the country. So that way we can get together and we can give each other those hugs and say, you matter, you
You're
care,
valuable. You're
you're valuable, and you're more than enough. And so soon, when I know we're truly leaving, Jeff always gets worried. He's like, I don't want you to let people know when we're not going to be in the house. And so, if we're having a connection, people would know we're not in the house. But he doesn't have to worry anymore because we have people that are going to stay in our house and watch our house. So that way, when we do lives on the road and we do connections on the road, he doesn't have to worry that we're going to get robbed or something while we're gone. So our house will be protected. And we're going to have more of these lives and we are going to connect. And I have two other dates that will be in our van. So you can find us pretty easily. We're going to be at two van meetups called Peace, Love, and Vans. And here's the thing, you don't have to have a van. They have day passes. So you can plan to be there for a day and drive there in your car or take a bus or whatever. Well, I don't know if you can get a bus to some of these places. You probably need a car. Rent a car if you don't have a car. I don't know. But there's a Peace, Love, and Vans that's going to be in March. Just go to peaceloveandvans.com, and we're going to be at that one. And we'll be walking around. Hey, Jeff, come over here so they can see your shirt. We'll be wearing our Anchor Moments RV t-shirts. So you'll know it's us. You'll know it's us. And then I also have an Anchor Moment shirt, and on the back it says, "Are you happy? Get anchored." And if anyone's interested in getting one of those, it'll be in the description of how you could get one of those printed. And we might make shipmate shirts at some point when we get a chance. But we're going to be at Peace, Love, and Vans in March in Florida, in Dade City, Florida. And then we're going to be at Peace, Love, and Vans in June in Colorado. And it's also on the Peace, Love, and Vans website. I can't remember the name of the town that one's in. We haven't signed up yet, but we are going to sign up here shortly. So you can meet us at Peace, Love, and Vans, and you don't even have to have a van. And they have live music and stuff. Oh, they're so fun. Jeff just created a video about it on Anchor Moments RV of what Peace, Love, and Vans looks like. And we're also going to be on the Downsized Cruise in June. We're shipping out of Miami to the Bahamas. And if anyone wants to do the cruise with us, please sign up, you guys. It's so fun. And in February, I am going to be in North Carolina, not only visiting Mindy, but I'm also going to be visiting the downsized. And the downsized are the ones doing the cruise. So if you'd like to go on the cruise with us with the downsized, go to the downsized.org, and you can they have a button on there somewhere that you can click, and you can sign up to go on the cruise with us. And we're going to do a show.
Do you have this information in the description for this video?
You know what, I don't,
So
but I can add that. You know what, I will add that, so when people watch on replay, it'll be there, but it's not there at the moment. And how to buy our t-shirts isn't there at the moment. I'll put that on the replay, I promise. The downsized is going to be on our Anchor Moment show when we are with them physically in person in North Carolina. And we're going to do a show together. I've already talked to Lorraine, and she's excited about it. So anyway, so you can also see us there. So those are 3 times that you can see us out and about. And then we're going to have another meetup in Florida, in Orlando, with Barb, and Barb's going to help me set it up. I just don't have the date yet, because we never really know until the van backs out of the driveway, because we fly by the seat of our pants. So most of the times we don't know where we're going. We don't know where we're staying, but we can stay in places because we have a small van, and we can sleep at a lot of different places. And it just depends how tired Jeff gets and what the weather's like. So anyway, when it gets closer, we'll let you know. But we are going to be having more connections, so we can give each other hugs and say, hey, I appreciate you. And I see you. And you have value. And you are loved. And that's it. Okay. And I'm going to be sharing a lot about what I learned at the butterfly effect tomorrow, too. You're not going to want to miss that live, because I'm going to be on fire. All right. And Michelle says, and to think these people thought they were helping. Yeah, the ones that our loved ones who criticized us for being overweight, even as kids. Yep. And Barb says, truly. And Grant says, oh, I'm so sorry, Sandy. Yeah, because that's not right. And Sandy says, so true. They really thought that would help. They did. And you know what? See, that's the thing. They weren't trying to hurt us. A lot of our family members, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them might not have tried to hurt us. They thought, oh, if I say, hey, you're looking fat, or you're getting fat, or you might want to not eat what you're currently eating, because don't eat that cookie because you're fat, or whatever. They think they're helping us, and we'll go, oh, I didn't realize I'm fat. Except for, you know what? I wasn't fat when I was 122 pounds. I just wasn't 110 anymore. But it made me feel fat, and made me feel like I wasn't worthy unless I was 110 pounds. And that's really an impossible weight for me to stay at ever. But anyway, but a lot of times what they're thinking they're doing is they're helping you so that you don't get even more fat and then have all the diseases, all the other diseases and complications that comes with battling obesity. So a lot of times they think they're helping you when really they're just hurting. And Barb says, we don't have pages.
When you say page 11, if you're looking at,
oh, I'm sorry.
If you're in Audible,
yeah,
for
Audible
instance,
wouldn't say what
you
page
can't
you're
tell
on.
what page that is.
Yeah, I can only help you with that.
The
But page
Kindle
11
might-
isn't that far away.
The Kindle, depending, when you zoom in and zoom out, it kind of changes the pageation at the top, I think. But of course, not on Audible, you can't tell.
Oh my goodness. And we got Cindy Taz, the Bulldog's mom, in the house. And she says, happy Sunday from the frozen tundra.
Where's
And
that?
she's near Nashville, I think. And she's in Tennessee for sure. But yeah,
Nice.
It's been a big ice storm has gone through. So a
Well,
lot of south. Well, no, but a lot of the
Okay.
southern states our frozen tundra right now. So I'm really glad we're not in our RV right now, because it would not be fun. The roads are slick. Michelle says, I could lose the weight consistently, but it was white knuckling the whole time. And then at some point I gain it back. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that happens to a lot of us. And written about in the book, that people do, people who battle obesity try to do some kind of weight loss program, and they lose weight for a while as they're white knuckling it. And then at some point they just let go, and then whoosh, the weight just skyrockets back. Oprah had a show over a year ago about GLP-1s, and it was a special, and I think it was even on ABC. And in that special where she really talked about, before writing her book, she said it feels like you're being pushed underwater. And as you're being pushed underwater while you're dieting, and you're being pushed, 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 and you're holding your breath and you're holding your breath, and all of a sudden you can't hold your breath anymore. And then you go back up to the surface to breathe, and all the fat comes back. Horrible. And a lot of times plus extra. Chucky in the house too. Woo-hoo! He is our funny friend from the UK. We love Chalky. Good to have you here too, Chalky. And Chalky, you got to get this book. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It is really worth it. And Barb says, I just took the trash out and it's 78 degrees. She's rubbing it in. It's beautiful in Florida right now. And actually, it's beautiful in Chandler too. 65 right now this afternoon.
We have a cold front.
Yeah, that's a cold front for us, but I like a cold front because then I can actually wear a jacket, and wear my sweaters. Frankly, Michelle says, Barb, we are getting cold end of the week. My Disney days will be very cold days. Oh, so there'll be some coldness coming to Florida too.
Wait, is that Frozen or is that Universal Studios?
I think Frozen is Disney. Isn't she a Frozen? Okay. I think she's a Frozen princess. And Barb says, yes, but I'm soaking it in while I can. It has been a beautiful week. Hey, Greg gave us a super sticker. How do I make it go?
Click on it. You have to scroll to find it, maybe.
Okay. I got to find Grant's real quick, because if you give a super sticker, we will bounce you to the front.
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you, Grant. I appreciate that. I have to say, it always makes my heart smile when someone gives me a super sticker. 99 cents, a buck, but the reason why it extra makes my heart smile is my grandma, who called me her baby fat white elephant when I was only 121, 122 pounds. She also used to call me motor mouth because I talked all the time, and that would hurt my feelings. And I know she loved me. She didn't have a filter. She didn't have a filter. And and she had a lot of issues. She had a lot of issues. She was an interesting character, and we loved her, but she was an interesting character who had a lot of issues. But to think that anyone would even give me a nickel for talking is just thrills my heart to no ends. So thanks, Grant, for making my heart smile today with that 99-cent super sticker. I appreciate you big time. All right, now let's go back to where I left off. We were on Barb. We had, oh no, there, is it this one?
There you go.
And Barb says, oh, what?
Keep going down.
Yeah. And Barb says, yes, I'm soaking it in. It's a beautiful week for walking. And Grant says, just took my brother-in-law to the hospital up the street. Total ice rink out here in West Virginia. I know, that is really scaring me, Grant. Number one, I want you to stay safe on those roads. And number two, we want to visit Grant in West Virginia. I'm trying to hit all 48 states that are nice and close and next to each other, and maybe contiguous. I always have a hard time saying contiguous. Contiguous states. And was it say contiguous states? It was before Grant's thing, because I jumped to Grant. Flex you, Black Squirrel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And you made my heart smile too. Oh, one more funny story. Last Monday, when I did my Majaro Monday Live, I was so excited that someone paid $700 for me to go to the Butterfly Effect, the ultimate, wait, no, the Ultimate Butterfly Effect Conference this last weekend. And it was a wonderful anonymous person. My friend Jimmy talked to, so I don't know if it was Jimmy. I don't know if it was Judy. I don't know if it was someone else. But someone paid $700 for me to go to the Ultimate Butterfly Experience, to take my channel to the next level and my life to the next level. And I just,
You're
and when
speechless.
I'm speechless. First, Grant says, just took my brother-in-law to the hospital up the street. Total ice rink out here. Yeah, in West Virginia. So I do want to see Grant and visit him in West Virginia. But if it is snowy and icy when we're around his area in February, we might have to wait till the summer. But if the roads are good, we'll do a video and spend the night at Grant's house. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Okay.
And Chalky says, Gina, I'm so telling Jesus that you want to meet Oprah and that you will pick her over him. You guys need to know, I love Chalky. I love Chalky because he is so funny. And sometimes to be funny, you got to walk it to the edge and you just teeny weeny cross that border. Oh my gosh, Chalky, he's hilarious. And Chalky is also a Christian, and we've talked about that and other things too. So he knows we're laughing to say that. And of course, but I know I get to meet Jesus. So I've already met Jesus, and I've met him many times. He's with me. And I know when I die, even though I'm a sinner, because we're all sinners, I know when I die, Jesus is going to give me the first hug in heaven and connect me with my grandma, with both of my grandmas who love me, but they just didn't understand that sometimes what they were saying were hurtful because I had obesity and they didn't. But nah, I already have Jesus, but I don't have Oprah. So and I just want to meet her. If I could meet her at least once and give her a hug and talk to her, that would be amazing. So thanks, Chalky. Just pray for me. Oh gosh. And Barb says, "Oh, Grant, I'm glad you're home safe." Yeah, me too. Goodness. And I will put some prayers out there that you stay safe because we need you. We need you in this world.
For all of you.
For all of you that live anywhere, that keep you guys safe. Safe in the rain, safe in the snow, safe in the ice, just safe. And I hope your BIL is okay.
Brother-in-law.
Oh, thank you. See, that's why I always need to have Jeff here. Yep. Hey, we got Black Squirrel in the house. Woo-hoo! And Black Squirrel says, I'm late, but I made it. And she's sending us some love. Thanks, Black Squirrel. Aw, thanks, Barb. Hey, we got Mimi here from Australia. Happy Monday morning from Australia. Yay! Welcome. That is so cool. And Michelle says, great interview on the downsize. Oh, so Mimi, sounds like Mimi was on the downsize. We'll have to check out that interview. And Chalky says, you're all so cool losing so much weight. Unfortunately, my blood sugar was out of control for about 3 years. I got diabetes 3 days before COVID lockdown. Oh, that would be a bummer. because it's so scary. And then you can't even get close to your friends and stuff back when that was. I got uh, diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, but it was on October 13th of 2020. So it was still during the pandemic as well. But gosh, right before lockdown. Oof, that would not have been fun. And Black Squirrel says, "Hey, Grant, great to be here. Glad to have you guys." And Mimi says, "Thanks, glad you enjoyed it, being on that on the downsize." And Jeff and I were on the downsize too. When we did the cruise last year, it was so fun because it was different in that we were in a room of about 40 to 50 people. And the downsized interviewed us in front of a live studio audience, the way Oprah used to be in the live studio audience. So we had a live studio audience interview.
There were no keys under the chairs, though. Keys to cars?
Oh, yeah. We didn't win any cars, but it was funny because because Jeff is my quirky comic relief here, and Chalky too from England, but sitting next to me, and so if he said something funny or I said something funny, to have a live studio audience laugh was really pretty cool. It was an extra fun. It was an extra fun interview, and now I'm excited. The downsides are going to be on our show, but it won't be. Well, I don't know, unless we can find a place and make it do it over a live studio audience. But they'll definitely be on Anchor Moments, and we can get more of you guys on the cruise with us. And Michelle says, "I think it is so neat. You get to be in the trail. Oh, the trial for the Retatrutide, and that you had such success. I've seen you on the circuit and love your personality. I subscribe today to your channel." All right, Mimi. Uh, that is a pretty good recommendation here from Frankly Michelle. I've got to look for your channel, and even better, I'd love to have you on Anchor Moments too. So reach out to me. You go to Gina at anchormoments.com, and that's how you can email me. And email me, and let's set up a time, and we'll put you on. We'll put you on Anchor Moments too, and get a chance to hear your story. And I want to know about Retatrutide. I talked to my doctor, and she told me that when Retatrutide comes out, if I'd like to be on it, she'd subscribe it for me, and she
Right.
prescribe it. I'm sorry. And she also told me that I wouldn't, if I wanted to, I wouldn't have to start at the bottom dose. We could start being a little bit higher since I'm on 15 milligrams of Manjaro, and I do so well with Manjaro. I have no side effects other than always having to stay ahead of constipation, and that's it. So I won't even have to start at the bottom. She's willing to start me just as a little bit higher, not the top dose, but a little bit higher. So I'd be really excited to chat with you and see what your thoughts are on being on that. That would be way cool. All right, so we got to check out her videos. And Mimi in Australia thanks us for Michelle for her support. And Black Squirrel says the estradiol patch has been great for me too. I got on it as soon as I had the radical hysterectomy. Yeah, I did too. I didn't immediately. I had my hysterectomy in May of 2024, and I started taking the estradiol patch and testosterone in July of 2024, because my doctor still wanted to do a few tests to be sure. And my hot flashes and stuff were horrible, 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 horrible. And now I don't have them. It's so great. Feels good. And Chalky says, "Never blame yourself, Gina. That's just the enemy whispering lies into your ear. You're so incredibly inspirational." Oh, thanks, Chalky. My dream when I started my YouTube channel and I wrote my Anchor Moments book, I have always wanted to be, ever since I was little, to be an inspirational speaker on a stage in front of a live audience and fill everybody in there with love, desire, and help them take the next action to spread kindness forward and make a difference And if they're hurting because of some stories that they tell themselves that aren't really true, that they can overcome it and be the best version of their selves too. And I do believe in a loving God who loves everyone. Everyone. There's not one person, even people that are doing bad things. Everyone. You know, people who have children who cause them grief because they're making lots of bad decisions and aren't doing, that are making bad decisions. They still love them. I think they do. I can't imagine that they wouldn't. And God loves everybody. And that's why I like putting on interfaith prayer breakfast too, because I know we have a loving God who loves everyone. And not one particular religion has something over the other, that we have a loving God who loves us all. Even though Jeff went to seminary to be a Catholic priest and he's the most comfortable in the Catholic Church, I converted from being a Methodist to being Catholic, because I wanted to raise my children together in one faith. It's easier that way. Um, and But I am comfortable in any church really. And I like putting on interfaith prayer breakfast because I love to hear how people from different faiths still find God. You know, how, or not still find God. That was the wrong words. How they find God and discover God in their lives. And they share those moments in their life that have anchored their faith. But anyway, thanks, Chalky. Love you bunches. And Michelle says, I got them both already. Oh, testosterone and estradiol? I'm not sure. Is it books? Patches? I'm not sure. Sorry, Michelle. Maybe she says it here. I love when she goes into detail how to choose a provider. Not sure the chapter, but this was great. And she has a great resource guide for you in the PDF. Oh, okay. So in weight loss, and you know what? A doctor would know best how to choose a doctor and find a good one. So I'm glad that she has that in there. I didn't I don't remember that from chapter 1, so it must be in another chapter when there's Grant's super sticker. And Black Squirrel says, my heart breaks for all of those who have been fat shamed by their family members. Oh, I know. Yeah, thanks, Black Squirrel. And the funny thing is, a lot of those family members might not be trying to be mean. They think they're helping, but really they're hurting. And Grant says, been there too. And my family really thought they were helping me and Christy. Tried giving us a weight loss magazine once. So that's what I want for Christmas, a weight loss magazine. And Chalky says, Jeff, you must be very worried about people stealing all your gold bars. They are hidden in the wall clock, right?
Actually, I buried them all in the backyard. And while you're there, if you can fix some of the sprinkler lines, that'd be great. One of them's leaking.
Actually, we almost need someone to come in the house and steal stuff so we get the crap out. We'll be married 36 years this March.
Don't take any of the boxes of crap in the garage.
Yeah, we've been married for 36 years and we've lived in this house for 35. So we have so much crap we don't need anymore. Yeah, it almost be doing us a favor. Ah. And Tracy says, joining the live late, looking forward to the book. You're gonna love this book, Tracy, if you've been doing it late. Seriously, anyone who's on a GLP-1 journey or is curious about it, you don't want to miss this one. And even if you didn't want to do a GLP-1, you want to read the first chapter where she takes away the blame, the shame and blame of battling obesity. If you use a GLP-1 or not, it's worth it. And Pamela says, Sandy, things were so different then, and they didn't know what we know now. My fat shame memory is when the Amway lady made a comment at how chubby I was when I was 8. A stranger altered my life. Ah, that's so sad.
I bet you didn't make a sale.
Yeah, I wouldn't have bought from her. What a terrible thing to do. And Pamela says 13 degrees and a foot or more of snow on the ground here in northern New Jersey. And then there's Black Squirrel sticker, super sticker. Thank you so much, Black Squirrel. Sandy Murphy did it for us too. Thank you so much, Sandy.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for coming here week after week. And for accepting me and loving me just as I am. You just have no idea what that does to my soul. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And at some point here, if some of you are putting together an event where you need a speaker to share some special stories, look me up. I haven't done anything uh, with my as a professional speaker. I almost did. When the pandemic hit, I was on Holy Spirit Broadcasting Network for a solid year. I signed a year contract the year before, 2 weeks after my Anchor Moments Hope, Healing, and Forgiveness book came out. And I was on somebody else's show, and Christian show on HSBN. And the owners of HSBN, Holy Spirit Broadcasting Network, said, Gina, we have 4 TV stations in 4 different places, and 1 was in Africa and 3 in the United States. And we have 100 broadcasters that are Christian, and they're all Protestant. And we know Catholics are Christian too. And we've been praying to give somebody Catholic a show. And we feel God telling our hearts right now, that person is you. And you can have your own show called Anchor Moments with Gina LeBenz. And we'll have the contract ready for you to sign in 2 days, which is on Good Friday. And you can do your first show then and produce your first show 2 days later. And they also put on big events because when you do the studio, when I say they were in the audience, they were my only audience because it was a regular little studio without seating for audience members when we would put on those shows. But they were sitting and watching me be on Christine Ellis's show, and they were, running the movie cameras or I don't know, TV cameras and stuff. And when it was over, they offered me my own show. And I had shared with them that it had been my dream to be a professional speaker. And one of my friends, who's an international professional speaker, Coach Darlene Sator, told me that I'd be fabulous. But she said the first thing I had to do was to write my stories down. And so I started doing my blog to write my stories down. And then I did my book. And then I had that show. And when being on HSBN, they had TV studios where you would do your stuff, but they also have, they would put on events, live events with lots of people in attendance with a microphone at the front. And people could be, would be speaking at that. And Jeff and I even got to go to one in California. We weren't speakers yet because I was new to being on HSBN, but they wanted me to see it. And so Jeff and I drove to California, and it was by Seal Beach, I think, or Seal Beach might have been where we spent the night. But anyway, it was by the ocean. It was wonderful. And we heard so many fabulous speakers, one after another, and the place was packed. And it was full of inspiration. And I was so excited because they told me by being on HSBN, I would get to be one of those speakers at a live event, which was my dream. So at the end of my contract year of being on HSBN, there was going to be an event in Arizona. And I was going to be one of, I don't know, maybe a dozen speakers. And the flyer they had for it had little circles with all of our headshots on it. And my head was one of those headshots on the flyer to get people to go to this event.
What happened?
And I bought a bunch of Anchor Moment books so I'd be ready because I could sell my books at the event. I could speak and then sell my books. And I was so excited. And then someone else read my book and invited me to speak at a women's luncheon. And there was going to be maybe 4 or 5 speakers, but I was going to be one of them. And I could sell my book there too after speaking live in front of these people. And I was so excited. It was my dream. I went to Toastmasters to be ready for it. I wrote my stories down. I had a bunch of stories and stuff. And I was just getting ready to write and figure out how many minutes I would have to speak so I would know how many stories I could tell. And the first event was at the end of March, and the second event was like the first or second week in April
Of 2020.
of 2020, and the country shut down. And I don't know. And then a part of me shut down too. It was like I blinked, and I don't know. I thought maybe I wasn't enough. And every now and again, someone says, "You should speak at my church or something." And I go, "Oh, that'd be great." But I don't follow up with them because I had a limiting belief that maybe I wasn't good enough. And, but I really enjoy speaking on my YouTube channel because that's easy. It's just sitting with friends. And some of the same friends come each week because they put it in the comments. So I know they're there, like Black Squirrel. I love Black Squirrel and Sandy Murphy and Grant. I love you guys.
What about me?
Oh, and Jeff always. He's my
Hmm.
bestie. And Jeff always. Uh, so anyway, I'll be sharing more about it tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm just dying to share about it. I'm dying to share about it. I'm sorry, you guys. For those of you who are just here for Weightless. But know that there's some big things that are going to come. And my glass ceiling of my mind was broken. And now it's a new floor. And I'm ready to level up. But I'm never going to leave you guys because you fill my heart. And it makes me smarter to actually finish reading a book. So doing one chapter a week has been really good for me too, as well as hopefully good for a lot of you guys as well. Hey, we got Leslie Davis in the house. She says, just coming in from shoveling snow in Kansas. Whew. Nice to be with you all. Yay. Thanks for joining us, Leslie. And always good to know where you guys are from. So if I see a lot of people from one place or it's a place that we're driving through, we can maybe meet up for coffee, or maybe we'll have a bigger meet and greet if it's a state that I know there's a lot of shipmates at. And Sandy says, "Oh my goodness, I had the same thought on money. I would tell folks to never loan. If you have it, give it. That way, when you see them, you're not wondering when they're going to pay you back." Yeah, and seriously, you guys, it ruins friendships, and and even with family members, it can cause a problem. But if you give a gift, no one expects a gift back. Who asks for a gift back? No one asks for a gift back. So if you want to help somebody, give them a gift, but it's a gift, not a loan. Give them a gift. If you have it and you can, and you know that they really need it for something important and you believe in it, then give it as a gift. That's my advice anyway. That's how I take that, and just tell them to pay it forward when they can to someone else. And then the friendship is still there, and it's all fine. And there's no guilt from anybody, and there's no expectation. And Karina's in the house and says, "Your videos have helped me so much. I don't know how to use the medicine. Yesterday was my second shot. Thank you." Oh, Karina, you're in the right place. And I go live every Monday. So if you have a fresh new question that you haven't found watching some of my replays on my Manjaro Journey playlist, uh, come and ask. And I'm
Just
not a doctor. I'm your sister from another mister. Jeff always has me say that. I'm not a doctor. I'm your sister from another mister. Been on this journey together with you. And I got a lot of other sisters from other misters and brothers from other mothers that are in the chat. And they're the kindest people ever. And we can give you some great advice. And then when you get the advice, it's your choice. Number one, if you want to take it. But number two, you can ask your doctor. So we're giving you great questions that you can ask your doctor. And a lot of times you don't even need to ask your doctor, ask your pharmacist. You can find a pharmacist anywhere. It doesn't even have to be your pharmacist. Say not every grocery store has a pharmacist just about. And Target, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens. And if you're in another country, I don't know the names of your drugstores and grocery stores, but a lot of times they have a pharmacy and there's a pharmacist there and they will talk to you for free if you buy something from them or not. You just go up to that one little window, and what they need to know is what every single medication you're taking and what your diseases are. And then they can check to see the over-the-counter things that you want to buy, if there's any interactions with the drugs that you're currently taking, the medications that you're taking. But they can answer a lot of questions, especially if you're having a side effect. It's really nice. So if you're on your second shot, I don't know if you're having any side effects right now, but if you are, you can talk to a pharmacist and ask them what over the counter things are going to help you with your side effect. And these are the current medications I'm taking. And the reason this is important, and I learned how important this was, is I had mentioned that I keep Tums and Pepsid Complete and Gas-X. Those are the three that if I did eat something and it's laying in my stomach because we have delayed stomach emptying and it's going to cause me grief, one of those three things will work for me. And I have all three. If it's just a teeny bit, I take a Tums. If it's extra gassy and bloaty, I do a Gas-X. And if it's really painful where I think, uh-oh, if I don't take care of this, I could possibly throw up in an hour or so, I take a Pepsid Complete because that's like hitting it with a sledgehammer
but not
when I need
everybody
it.
can take those
But yeah, and then
based
one of my shipmates said, "Oh, Gina, I can't take Tums. My doctor said I can't because there's another medication she was taking, and when you take that medication, you can't have whatever it is in Tums. I don't know if it's the
calcium.
calcium or something, but they can't have it. So that's why you ask a pharmacist and tell you, and you don't have to make an appointment with the pharmacist. You just walk up to the counter and then ask them. So it's easy.
Never a
So
bad idea to consult with your doctor.
well, sure, but the pharmacist will even know to say that too, because they don't want to be sued for hurting you, and they can even type it into their computer. Oh, this. What are the drug interactions? Because if they don't know the answer, they know how to find the answer quickly right there while they're watching you and talking to you. So they're really a great resource. And Karina says, "You help me understand how to administer the shot." I'm glad that's how you found me. That's been my best video was the first day taking my shot and I was so scared. And um and that one people view every day. Some of my videos they last about 48 hours and then YouTube doesn't share them anymore. But that one they share a lot and I'm so glad that it helped you. All right, everybody. I've been talking to you guys for a long time. This is like the longest book club live I've done. But just know that I care about you. You are enough. And we're all going to feel so weightless after we're done reading all the chapters of this wonderful weight loss book. And we'll talk chapter 2 with you tomorrow. And really,
Not tomorrow,
I mean, not tomorrow. And thank you, Jeff. In a week. Next Sunday. Same place, same time. We'll see you then. Probably 1:30 though, instead of 1:40, 10 minutes earlier next week. And tomorrow, 5:30 Arizona time, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. We are going live. I'll be giving myself my shot. I'll be doing my live Q&A, but I'm going to be telling you a lot of fabulous things and wonderful connections from the butterfly event. Um, all right, everybody, hold on to your anchor moments and make it. Oh, wait. We didn't see who gets to wear the crown this today. And I don't see my cell phone. Can you turn your cell phone on on our channel so we can see? Or does anyone here, can you see real quick? Hey, Traveling T, we're just coming up to the end, but this was a really phenomenal book. You're gonna want to read it for sure, and you're gonna want to watch this on replay because
Sure.
it was amazing chatting with the community. And the crowns today, in third place, wearing a crown today, is Grant Campbell, woo-hoo, a king's crown. And in second place, wearing a crown today is Black Squirrel, yay! And in first place, it is Sandy Murphy, woohoo! All right, wear your crowns proudly. And everybody, hold on to your anchor moments and make it a blessed day. Bye-bye.